Mum shakalaka laka laka mum. This is behind the scenes. Are we going live or are we going live? Yes, Star. Yes. We have some things pulled up on our screen. Thank you for being here. Each and every one of you are so loved and appreciated. You are appreciated. Wee. Now, I recently predicted through my using astrology on the Aquarian.tv's website. I do astrology, and this isn't here to sell you astrology, but it's Leo season we just entered into. The sun is home there. The middle of summer, and because of the tension that it has, it's like an eruption. Sun, and I said, expect some type of sun eruption, a solar flare that threatens to black out our grid, our internet, our electricity. Now, it's more the internet it seems to affect, and not our whole energy grid, because that would be different. Because what I did is I studied what would happen if an electric internet blackout attacked Russia. Because is it the sun that's going to do it, or is it Russia? Because Europe faces massive internet outage, Russia-Ukraine war. Vulnerable U.S. electric grid facing threats from Russia. Oh, so you know what? Because I typed in what would happen if the internet collapsed, which would still be a thing. And then I went into just all of this being fear-mongering. And there was a journalist from, I believe it was CNN or a news person, who was undercoverly recorded by Al Jazeera, and they did a whole documentary on them just using, among many other things, including their relationship with certain foreign countries, is that if it bleeds, it leads. Insinuating that if they cause emotional trauma, it brings hits. Yeah, so what would happen if we go to a cashless society? So I went to the number one, I Googled it, went to the number one thing that came up that was from a popular source, The Guardian. And in this long ass, wordy, freaking article, they don't say anything about being banned, about the government, well, it's not the government, PayPal, an internet monetary exchange utility that is used by many people, and there are people who get banned from being able to accept payments on PayPal. There's stories of banks cutting off people's accounts because they are deemed a threat to the establishment, the oligarchy. But we call them oligarchies in Russia, and we call them billionaires in America. Now, is there a surge, an effort to bring us towards a cashless society? I think we could all agree that that's happening. Now, is that part of the Great Reset? Is that just the violent impact of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories? The first thing to show up. They're claiming it's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory to say about the Great Reset. The ADL and Jonathan Greenblatt will bring that to our attention. The Great Reset, quote in quotations, conspiracy is an anti-Semitic conspiracy. It flourishes amid continued blah, blah, blah. It's always on the rise. That the global elites will use the pandemic to advance their interests. There hasn't been the biggest transfer of wealth in the recorded history than this. The Rothschild family. Britannica is the second one. So you can't even say that name or you get banned. And then they go say they're the front of all these conspiracy theories. And they'll say how that is unfair and an anti-Semitic trope. And then the rest of the whole Wikipedia or Britannica article will go and tell you about how much power they do have. And this is the reason why I had a video that gave me 2 strikes. Because you can't single out a single entity. I'm not saying every Rothschild family member is a part of a conspiracy or has power. Oh, man. Well, let's just go to what's Klaus? It's World Economic Forum, right? Okay, I looked up Klaus Schwab, the reset. The first thing that comes up is the weforum.org. The Great Reset, World Economic Forum. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect and reimagine and reset our world. Klaus Schwab. Now is the time for a Great Reset, World Economic Forum, weforum.org. That is totally legit what he said. Oh my God, this is just too easy. And this could get me banned. A lot of mercy. Alright, so I should just cut this video off right now. And I think I will. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Wake Movement. Waking us up out of great illusion. Religion's been a big part of it. So we talk about that. And politics. And we think there's this great separation between church and state, religion and government, when those definitions aren't so well set in stone. Shout out to my new background and my central AC in this room. Let me give thanks. Oh, we're shutting this off because that was just gold right there.